Yesterday I did a video on Newcastle being backed into a corner by Liverpool regarding Alexander Isak. In that I said Liverpool are pushing on Isak in the hope that Newcastle would sign Ekitike. But if Newcastle would not release Isak, then Liverpool would go for Ekitike. So yesterday the news came out that Newcastle were advancing in talks for Hugo Ekitike, and the Geordies were thinking they had this brilliant striker lined up next season to play alongside Alexander Isak. Because they, in their eyes, don't see Isak going to Liverpool. They have got a not-for-sale stance going on right now. The problem with this was that the reports on Isak becoming closer to Newcastle and them feeling confident they can hold out with their PSR year financially to Isak and bring Ekitike in, Liverpool were confident that if they wanted to, and Newcastle stood firm with Isak, they would go and get Ekitike. Now, Fabrizio Romano has thrown a right spanner in the works here on this one. This is Football Talks, by the way, everybody. This is your update on the transfer news front around the Premier League. The big news at the moment is this fight between Isak, Ekitike, Liverpool and Newcastle. So, I'll just explain where it was yesterday. Newcastle want Ekitike. They don't want to sell Isak. Liverpool want either Isak in or they're going to force Ekitike to go to Liverpool. We'll not force him to go to Liverpool, but make it quite clear that that's the better option for them. For him as a player also. And we're at a point now where yesterday we thought Newcastle were close. Not the case. Romano has said that their first bid was rejected and there is no sign of a new bid going in yet. Talks of Newcastle continuing to communicate with Frankfurt over a new bid and a new bid being imminent are not true. So, looking at that, you're like, right, okay then. So, no new bids gone in for Newcastle. Normally, no drama. You just go back in, you take your time. But then I said yesterday, and that was the point I was making, are Newcastle being forced here to make a move quickly because Liverpool are about to put the foot down on the gas pedal and say, we want Ekitike. And then Romano comes out and says, Newcastle not advancing in talks, but Liverpool are on the club and player side of things. And that's for Hugo Ekitike. All of a sudden, that tweet and that comment about Ekitike only wanting Newcastle. Well, I think Liverpool fans came back at that and said, well, that's until Liverpool become interested in the player and then he'll come to us. Could they be being proved right here? Is it the Scousers ahead of the Geordies at the moment in this Ekitike fight? Newcastle can be as strong as they want with Alexander Isak and keeping him. Honestly, right now, the scenarios, and this is what I want you to get into the comments for. Newcastle fans and Liverpool fans, hit me up on this one. Liverpool are in a much more comfortable position, but as a Newcastle fan, I'd be saying right now, I'm keeping Isak and Ekitike can go. And that would be a medium. Go and find another striker right now. You've brought Alanga in. You usually only play one up top normally with one fast winger either side. I don't know if he's changing things up anyhow this season, but I'd be wanting to keep hold of Isak over anything because he is an absolute world-class striker and one of the top, I think right now one of the top 5 strikers in the world in terms of that position as a number 9. Ekitike, if he wants to go Liverpool, I would let him go. But where are you at, Newcastle fans? Because I've seen plenty of comments from Newcastle and Liverpool fans off the video yesterday, and Newcastle fans adamant that Isak was going nowhere. I don't think Newcastle are too bothered if Ekitike goes to Liverpool, if that meant that Isak stays. But Liverpool are only going to buy one. Should Newcastle... I think they're snookered kind of in a way here, aren't they, Newcastle? They're going to lose out on their top striker target for this transfer window because Liverpool are advancing now on Ekitike. And when you look at it, what could Newcastle offer Ekitike over Liverpool? Well, they both got Champions League football. Liverpool are the champions, though, and you're going into a team which is absolutely well-drilled and oiled to the max right now, primed, ready to go for the new season. And they're moving out a striker in Nunes. And Ekitike walks straight in to that team. It's not like Newcastle could even say, look, yeah, you're not going to get game time at Liverpool. You might as well come to us. Ekitike's got a better chance of getting game time at the champions in Liverpool than he has at Newcastle because Isak's there. So, in theory, Newcastle have got no bargaining here at all. They've got no chips. Liverpool have got them, and they've got them cornered and snookered behind the black ball here. There's no way out for Newcastle as far as I can see, unless they sell Alexander Isak. which, let's be honest, if you're going to choose Ekitike or Isak, you're going to choose you're going to choose Alexander Isak, sorry, aren't you? It's a no-brainer right now. This is developing now, and Liverpool are looking likely to make another forward signing here in Ekitike now. It looks, from what the talks are saying, I don't see Liverpool buying both of these players. So that scenario is another one that you could say is possible, and they're still going. But look, Ekitike is going to cost upwards of 70 million quid from Frankfurt. So that price, I think, finishes Liverpool's spending off. Maybe Matt Gahey or something at the back could come in later on in the window, but Ekitike in, Florian Wirtz, obviously Kirkes and Frimpong also over the line. New keepers in as well at Liverpool. I think that's then pretty much done, unless something happens in midfield and defence. Plenty of time left, but Newcastle, only one player in so far in Anthony Elanga. I think there's the scuppers, and where do they go now if they don't get Ekitike? If they were hell-bent on bringing another forward in, well, where do they go now? Who else is available? That's the question for Newcastle fans from this. But at least you managed to keep hold of Alexander Isak. Surely that is the biggest win in all of this, in not losing your prized asset, because no matter what players come in to Newcastle, you're not going to find anybody on the planet. And yeah, you're probably talking the best strikers out there who, at the moment, who can compete in that number 9, out-and-out number 9 position. You're probably looking at the likes of an Mbappe, a Harry Kane, these types of players that you know you're never going to get. You have got one of the best on the planet. I think Newcastle can feel confident that they're going to keep Isak, but it's going to be at the expense of not getting another striker in Hugo Ekitike. That's the only way I see this one playing out. And of course, I want your comments in on this. What's the best scenario for Liverpool and Newcastle fans in both of this, either side? And again, it comes down to, obviously, Liverpool now feeling confident that either one of Diaz is going to go for stupid money or Nunes is going to be out of the door. Now, Newcastle, I've obviously got other targets in mind. I'm guessing they must have. But I think this will be a bit of a blow for them in their transfer window. And again, Newcastle fans, just on top of everything that I've asked there, are you a bit missed off that, again, in the transfer window, you're coming up short? That, I think, is definitely what I feel a big concern. Like, considering how much money you've got, like, should you be doing more in the transfer windows? I understand PSR and financial fair play are hindering the progress of Newcastle right now, but are you concerned going into the future, like constantly not being able to get these top targets with all that money being there at your disposal and you cannot spend it? Now that you're in the Champions League as well, you should be able to balance things out, but still, it doesn't seem the case. Did you move too slow? Did you move too slow in Ekitike? Could you have not got this deal done quicker before Liverpool actually decided who they were going for? That's another question as well. They're your headlines at the moment. Ekitike is looking more and more likely that he's going to be ending up going to Liverpool rather than Newcastle. Get your comments in below. Let me know what you think about that, everybody. And of course, make sure that you hit the subscribe button for your updates on everything going on in the Premier League and around this transfer window in particular. Thank you, everybody. Like, share, subscribe to Football Talks. I'll see you in the next video.